Are you tired of investing in things that you need to keep a watch on? Like, think about it. If you're investing in things like stocks and shares or crypto especially, and I've got nothing against these things. I have an investment in stocks and shares as well as a crypto portfolio too, but I'm going to give you a different take on that. And I'm also going to talk about a different form of investment that you should seriously be considering if you haven't done so already, because here's the thing. With volatile investments, where one day prices are high, next day they're down, depending on market sentiment, depending on what's happening in the news and what's going on in the economy, that can make massive fluctuations in the prices of stocks and shares or crypto. And it's not just stocks and shares or crypto, there's other assets as well where you're always having to keep an eye on. Even forex trading, even the likes of, investing in commodities. All it takes is certain things that happen in the world to really have you constantly having to view and watch your portfolio. Sometimes it's crazy that you have to do that on a daily basis just to be mindful of what your investments are doing. And that can become exhausting in itself, especially when you're putting money to work and you're focusing on your life in terms of your career or your business. And the last thing you want to be doing is reviewing your investments on a daily basis, because let's face it, I've been there myself, I've experienced it. I remember when I was buying into crypto, and for me, my first ever investment in crypto was probably could have been over 10 years ago, there or thereabouts. But when I made my first investment in crypto, I went in with a small amount. I put like £10,000 into Bitcoin. And I invested right at the point where Bitcoin went to like $19,000, there or thereabouts. And when it went to that was the point where I invested. And why did I invest at that point? Because everyone was talking about it. People I knew, there's like, Bitcoin's going to go crazy. And just lo and behold, the point when I invested, the market started to crash. And Bitcoin went all the way back down to like $4,000 or something like that. I can't remember exactly because I wasn't paying too much of attention. But I tell you what, the day that I invested and I was watching it going up and going up for over a week to then just turn on itself and start to crash, here's what happened. Forget about a £10,000 investment because it's insignificant in the grand scheme of things. And here, sure, I can say that because it's not a lot of money. But tell you what, the Paul McFadden, not 10 years ago, but maybe 15 years ago, that £10,000 was a lot of money. And when I did invest, even though just now my whole portfolio in terms of crypto is far greater than that, I've got a multiple six-figure investment in crypto, I have a different approach now than I had back then. Because back then I'm looking at this daily and I'm seeing the fluctuation and changes. And when it was going up, I was like, oh my God, it's crazy. Should I put more money into it? And it takes my focus off of my main thing. It takes my focus on other stuff that I was considering doing because I'm like, oh, crypto. And then the market starts to crash and I'm looking at it on a daily basis. I'm like, oh my God, what's going to happen? It's going to keep on going down. Now I'm watching videos on YouTube and speaking to other people and they're like, whoa, it's going to come back to itself, just you wait. It's going to then start to go higher again. And then it doesn't. And then it keeps on going down. And don't worry, if reached the bottom, it's going to turn on itself, it's going to go higher. Then it keeps on going down. And before you know it, when you look back and you see the amount of time they get sucked away on a daily basis of watching, second-guessing yourself, taking you away from your main focus. That's what happened to me. Over £10,000 investment into frickin' Bitcoin. Now, let's rewind about 2.5 to 3 years ago when I decided to then start reinvesting in Bitcoin. And by the way, I have a small investment in Bitcoin itself. Most of my portfolio, like 95% of it, is in the altcoin market. So I started to load up when nobody was investing in cryptocurrency. Why? Because it was very low, it was stagnant. This is pre-COVID as well. And during COVID and everything that happened there and the lockdowns and stuff, it was as if everyone wanted to start investing in crypto, right? It was crazy. A massive bull run. My own crypto portfolio was already over £1 million because it went up in value. In fact, I was a crypto millionaire, which was bizarre and crazy. And it's funny because I couldn't turn around and say, oh yeah, because I knew something. And it was just timing the market, and I never knew I was timing it. I just invested when no one else was doing. I had surplus money, put a couple $100,000 into altcoins, and it just went through in a massive rally. Arguably, I should have cashed out, and I never cashed out. I did not cash out. My crypto portfolio today, 2.5 to 3 years later, is down to just above what I bought in it. So no longer was I a crypto millionaire. I'm now back down, and that's fine. Because my process with crypto, like with my stocks and shares portfolio, is long-term thinking. And because I went through a bull cycle and then seeing it start to go into a bear cycle, I'm like, okay, I maybe need to monitor this, watch this a little bit more and be a bit strategic with my investment. But the problem comes with those here is that through that whole process, my crypto portfolio went into 7 figures and beyond. It was close. It just kept on going up. It was almost into to 2.5 at one point. And when that's doing that, I'm like, oh my God, I should have cashed out $1 million at least and leave it at 1.5 in. And it was nuts. It was crazy how it was happening. But I get caught up in it all. I thought it was going to go even higher. So when you don't understand the marketplace, and hey, I always say this, I know 99.9% more than anybody about crypto, yet I know nothing. I'm going to say that again. I know 99.9% more than anyone else out there about crypto, yet I know nothing. That's the point I'm making. You don't know how to time the markets. You just don't. Like right now, as crypto in February 2023, it looks like it's going on another bull run. But then you've got some people out there talking about, yeah, it's going to be a dead cat bounce, right? You've got other people turning around saying, well, it's going to keep on rallying, it's going to go higher. But you've got different sort of opinions. And that there sucks up your energy and time because every single day you're watching, if you're on Binance or whatever the platform is, you're looking and checking, crypto.com, checking and seeing, how's your portfolio doing? That's sucking away time and energy. So the flip side here, for me, what I did before I get involved in any other alternative investments, not just crypto, not just stocks and shares, but businesses, you name it, before I get involved into anything else, where my focus was building a solid property portfolio that produces an income. And I have a management team, letting agents that manage the portfolio, and I've got a team in place that manage all of that. Now, you can have that as well. Imagine you're able to invest in assets, money that you could park and forget about, knowing that the value of those assets will go up over long term. It's got less volatility than any other asset class, especially if you buy right in the first place. It produces an income, so you're always getting an income on a monthly basis, not to mention the uplift of the capital gain. So when you've got all of that to benefit from, here's the best part, you can forget about it altogether. You can forget about it. You don't have to be sitting there checking your property portfolio on a daily basis. You can completely forget about it. And this is what I love about building a property portfolio. Because once you get 5 to 10 properties, then you can literally set that up as a business, let that run, you can forget about it, and it will continue to grow over the long term, regardless of what happens in the marketplace, and it's producing an income. The best part is, if you want to invest in other alternative investments, such as stocks and shares or crypto, then you can utilise the cash flow from your assets to then go and do that. But you're building it from a place of strength. There's, if you look at I remember reading a Sunday Times Rich List, an article all about the top 100. 85 of the top 100 had either made their millions, built their wealth through investing in property, or whatever they made their money, wherever it was, they took that money and then invested it into hard assets such as property. Think about it. Peter Jones, one of the dragons from Dragon's Den, he became a billionaire when he started to invest from his tech company into property. Lord Sugar, right? So Lord Sugar, he paid himself a $395 million dividend from his property holdings company. You look at the likes of Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates, two of the largest private landlords of property and land in the whole of America. Like, this is easy to see across the board. It's like if you've watched the movie The Founder, all about Ray Kroc at McDonald's. People think we're in the burger flipping business. We're not. We're in the real estate business. So be mindful of that. If you've got a good base, a good foundation of assets such as real estate, property, where it's producing an income and going up in value over long term, and if you buy right, you're adding value, refinancing, pulling that money out, but keeping the asset and the income, and then rotating that money into multiple more deals. You can literally turn one pot of cash, call it 50 grand, into £1 million plus, 10 million, 100 million if you have enough time going by, if you just keep on recycling that money into the next property, back out into the next, back out into the next, and continue that process. You cannot compare investing in hard assets like property with anything else, because it's easy to time the property market. Property is slow to react to anything. It doesn't react to all the things going on in the economy. It's easy enough through due diligence to always buy right in the first place and always make money. I've never lost a single penny at all in any property investment that I've ever been involved in. I've been involved in hundreds of transactions. I tell you what, lost shit tons of money, hundreds of thousands, you could say a couple of million in crypto, right? Fucking wild. It's crazy. But I'm thinking long term, I don't really care. I'm not letting my time get sucked into it all. I'm sitting and forgetting about it. And it's just play money in the grand scheme of things. But think about it. Most people are doing those decisions on £5,000, a couple of grand, £1,000, and it's just consuming you. We need to be more aggressive. And what could you do with that small amounts of money? Invest in your education. Invest in getting a new skill set that's going to help you make more money so you can ultimately get yourself in a position to invest in hard assets that's going to produce an income that's going to set you up. I recommend anyone, regardless to what you do for a living, get property in your portfolio. Regardless. The last thing you want to do is have to wait until you're in your late 60s before you can retire, because if you were just able to build up that property portfolio over time, you're going to be in a situation that you can retire much earlier than in your 60s and having that safety net of assets of producing an income, that capital appreciation, all the good stuff that come with it. So it's crazy that over 70% of people who watch these YouTube videos are not even subscribed to my channel. So do me a favour, please, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell to be notified when I drop some content, because I want to bring you value that's going to help you in your journey going forward.